All right, Shalom Aleichem, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Machin Leira Online Smicha. There is a mitzvah in the Torah mentioned in Parshas Ba'aloischa and Perek Yud. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Asei lecha shtei chatzotzros kesef. Make for yourself, and every word over here is important. 2 silver trumpets. Miksha ta'asa oisam. They should be made a piece, a chunk. All right? Now, and what's the purpose of these trumpets? These trumpets should be used lemikra ha'eda, when you want to call the people to gather together, ulamasa esamachnos, and at the same time, when it's time for the Yidden to move on, to journey from place to place, blowing of the trumpets would be a sign that we're moving on. All right? So the pasuk says, Asei lecha shtei chatzotzros kesef. I want you to make for yourself 2 silver trumpets. Rashi says, Asei lecha, they should be made for you. Says Rashi, sheyu toikin lefanecha kemelech. I want the Yidden should blow on these trumpets in front of you like people blow trumpets in front of a king. You know, there's trumpet sounds when a king travels. So when Moshe Rabbeinu, the Eibushter is saying, Asei lecha, and this is a question, did Moshe Rabbeinu have a halacha of a king, or Moshe Rabbeinu have a halacha of a teacher, a navi? Either way, the pasuk says that I want them to blow it, these trumpets, lecha, for you. Now, if Moshe Rabbeinu has a din of a king, is a big discussion, because a king is supposed to always show honor for his royalty, for his leadership. He's not allowed to cheapen himself in any way. And we find earlier that Moshe Rabbeinu was serving his father-in-law Yisro. So some poskim say that Moshe Rabbeinu became a king only from Matan Torah on. From Matan Torah, he became a gather of a king. Before then, he didn't have the gather of a king. Either way, here the Torah comes and says we should have 2 chatzotzros kesef, 2 silver trumpets. Says the Balaturim, why 2? Says the Balaturim, Keneged Avram v'Yaakov. So it should be to commemorate 2 of the forefathers, Avram and Yaakov. Why are they mentioned? Because those 2, asu milchama b'umois v'natzchum. Those 2, Avram and Yaakov, went out to war against nations and they won them. So those 2 are mentioned with the 2 trumpets. Why not Yitzchak? Suddenly Yitzchak is not, every time when we want to arouse the schus of the Avis, we always say Avram, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. By the trumpets, we only have 2. So others give an explanation. They say Avram and Yaakov are symbolic for Rachamim. Avram is chesed, kindness. Yaakov is Rachamim, compassion. So when you need things to move, or especially when you go out to war, you have to arouse these 2. Yitzchak is the midah of din, of harshness, of gvura. We don't want to mention din in these times when we're blowing the shofar. We're blowing the chatzotzros. Why should they be silver and not gold? So the Balaturim says, because gold, we don't want to remind of something that happened earlier in the history of with gold, when they blew with gold. When they use the gold to make the golden calf. So we don't want to have gold trumpets, it is silver trumpets. Now Rashi continues and says that these trumpets have to be made from Moshe's financing, lecha, and asei lecha, ata oisa u'mishtamish behem v'loi acher. You, Moshe Rabbeinu, you could use these trumpets, and nobody else after you uses these trumpets. These trumpets are made just for you. Now, this is a tremendous lesson in leadership. In leadership, they use this as a lesson, besides for the halacha, that states that any item that was used for a melech, once he passes away, no other melech can use it. It's dedicated for him, and no other simple person can use it. This is what the pasuk is saying. These trumpets is for you and nobody else. Now, what were these trumpets for? What were these trumpets for? The pasuk says to call the people to gather together, and whenever they have to travel. What's the significance of that? The significance of that is that it also means, as a leader, when you want to draw people in, you have to know how to do it. And if you are a leader, you also have to know that each leader has his own way how to blow a trumpet or blow a call for people to come. Everyone has his way of doing it. Therefore, this chatzaitzros were meant for you. The next leader, Yeshua, has his own way of dealing with it. The pasuk says that when they would blow the chatzaitzros, the trumpets, to gather the people, it says sometimes you blow a tekiah. A tekiah means one simple sound. And sometimes they would blow a teruah, broken sounds. So the pasuk says there's a difference. When you heard one simple sound, then you knew this is happening. If you heard a teruah, then you knew that something else is happening. So the pasuk says, when you're blowing the trumpets to gather the people together, tisku, the sound of the shofar should be a flat sound, one tekiah, v'loi teruah, not choppy sounds. So in the way how to get the people to come closer, you have to know that by the sound is very important. Say something very, very simple. Say something very smooth. Things that are crooked, things that are choppy, won't attract people to come. Another interpretation is when you're getting people to come, tisku, blow the shofar straight, and loy surreal. Whatever you're saying, don't be wishy-washy. Don't be choppy. Make sure it's consistent, make sure it's true, and don't bend from the truth. And when you're consistent with what you want and what you believe in, that's going to draw people in. That's going to draw people in. So the Torah says, another case when you would use another time when you would use the chatzaitzros is when you go out to war. When you go out to war, you would have to blow the chatzaitzros, and that would be a sign of war. So there's a famous word from the Kotzker Rebbe. The Kotzker Rebbe said that we find over here the pasuk says if you go out to war and you blow the chatzaitzros, you win the war. Hashem will help you. In Parshas Kiseitze it says, Kiseitze la milchama alavecha. If you go out to wage war on your enemy, Hashem will help you. And it doesn't mention about needing the extra thing of the shofar. Why? In one place it says if you blow the sounds of the chatzaitzros, Hashem will help. And the other place it says just going out against your enemy, Hashem will help. And the Kotzker Rebbe says that it depends. It depends how long you wait for the enemy to come to you. If you know that this is the enemy and enemy has to be eradicated, and you take the initial stance to go out against your enemy, Kiseitze la milchama alayvecha, you don't even let the enemy enter, then Hashem says you're committed, you know what's right, what's wrong. Hashem says, I guarantee that you will be victorious. Sometimes we play politics, we wait around, and we wait we only go out to war only after the enemy enters us, and now we fight back. Ooh, if you waited for so long, then the Torah says, I need you to do something to see that you're really committed, you're in the right derech. What do you have to do? You have to blow the chatzoitzeres, and then I see, you're for real. When you initiate the war, because you know who the real enemy is, and as the pasuk says, the real enemy, any nation that's an enemy against Jews is an enemy against the Hashem. But if you realize that and you fight the war first, you're going to win. If you wait for them to attack you and they put you on the siege and you have to fight back, then Hashem wants the chatzoitzeres. Hashem wants the blowing of the sounds of the trumpets, and then you will win. Now, just as it is in the spiritual war, the same thing is in the physical war. And it's just as it is in the physical war against your physical enemy, Chassidus Svarim says is the same on the spiritual war. The war that your biggest enemy is the Yetzer Hara. Don't let the Yetzer Hara enter you and then figure out how to fight him. Don't even give him a chance. You fight him first, knock him out, and Hashem guarantees that you will be victorious.